time as how the program was laid out here in Port Moresby for the Papua New Guinea leg of his trip.
Well, John, the point for us will be, you always put an hour and always we are late, but I think for this case, we can find it exceptional that we're still within time because of the flying time. They managed to catch up for the hour that was proposed.
The program is the special charter will stop at an area reserved for ceremonies at the APEC terminal. The Vatican protocol and security officials, I think, will exit from the rear staircase. The plane is still exiting to where it is designated to come to a stop. And on board, as we have said, apart from the Holy Father himself, are members of the Vatican media accredited to be part of this trip. And of course his personal staff. Here are some of the government officials at the airport: the Honorable Justin Chechenko, the Honorable Delta Wong, and a number of others that I couldn't see. And there's the Airbus taxiing down the runway, and it will park at a special APEC parking ceremony where the die stands, where the Holy Father will emerge. So activities, all activities will happen as soon as the plane comes to a stop. These are live pictures of the visit to Papua New Guinea by the Holy Father for Pope Francis. It'll be a 4-day visit. Everybody at the airport is taking it all in. All eyes are focused on that Airbus, no doubt, and people outside as well. So are we here at the media center, and I'm sure everybody else who's watching. That's the site at Jackson's Airport in Port Moresby. Quite a memorable site, the visit to Papua New Guinea by Pope Francis. He'll be here on Saturday and Sunday. A number of engagements are planned. He also visits Vanimo in the Sundown province. You know some of the details, Archbishop. The population of Catholics in the world stand at 1.39 billion, and in Papua New Guinea, 96% of Papua New Guineans are Christians, and out of those, 30% of Papua New Guineans are Catholics. That represents about 2.5 going on to 3 million people, and that's according to the 2011 census, and it's now almost 13 years. And that census has never been updated, so that number could have increased. We could guess it and still get it right.
Yes, John. The population continues to grow.
Yes.
And one of the challenges in Papua New Guinea, we never get ourselves right with our senses. But we do know that in the families, they're expanding, and the challenges of school fees, feeding, and of course our schools and our health centers, these are the ones that measure how much are we catering for all our people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Archbishop.
Hi, we are
A Garuda Airbus bringing the Holy Father into Port Moresby. The papal flag is flying as a normal protocol requirement. I'm coming from Indonesia, a country, an Islam country. Buddhism and Hinduism are strong. And the population there, 383 million people. Out of those, only 8.3 million are Catholics in Indonesia. And in Papua New Guinea, as we alluded earlier, 30% of the how many people we have right now, and as we said, the census is not updated, 30% are Catholics, but 96% of the people are Christians. Garuda Airbus, on board the Holy Father, Pope Francis.
It would be a different arrival if it was sunlight or sunset.
You'd have people hanging off branches and on rooftops. I'm not quite sure whether that's happening right now. It could be. It's dark, so we can't see. I'm sure people are seeking some vantage points to have a sneak preview of the arrival. There you are, the Vatican flag and the PNG flag. How about that? It is, looking at that picture, it is a picture of, if it's not excitement, then it is a one of anticipation of what might be, what might happen, what might be said, what might be the outcome when it's all over. At a time when Papua New Guinea is going through some difficult times of law and order, difficult times of hardships, difficult times politically.
You might also have to consider at this point, with the advancement of information communications technology, that a lot of people are having personally following what is going on, which is before you would have a radio only or a TV for a big group of people. But now, given the personalized technology, everyone is to themselves watching what is going on.
We've come of time, haven't we? Yes, we have. Oh, yes, we have. So when the aircraft is parked and the engine stopped, and when the Holy Father emerges and his entourage, people there to greet him and follow through the protocols, will, as we said, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable John Rosso, is already there representing the government and the people of Papua New Guinea to welcome the Holy Father. And with him are a number of ministers, including the Honourable Justin Chechenko, the Minister for Foreign Affairs. And he's there in his capacity as welcoming a dignitary from another country who's the head of state as well. And there also, no doubt, will be other government officials, members of Parliament. The Honourable Paul Spako is also there. He will be is kind of hosting the Papal visit to the National Capital District. National Capital District, so he's the governor here, he's there to welcome him. And the people, the traditional landowners and the people here, the Motu Koitabu, are represented there at the Tamik at the airport by Gary Crocker Jr., the chairman of the Motu Koitabuans. And then of course for representing the public servants out there is Ivan Pomala, the chief secretary to government, and also the secretary of foreign affairs, Mr. Elias Wahengu. On the Vatican side, there is, of course, His Eminence, Cardinal Sir John Ribot, representing the Archdiocese of Port Moresby, playing host to the visit by the Papal. And then, of course, you will have the representatives of the Apostolic Nunciature, that's like the embassy of the Vatican Embassy here in Port Moresby, in Papua New Guinea. You also have His Excellency Otto Sepre. He is the Bishop of Barena and the President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference. A little bit dark out there, and of course out at the tarmac you don't have lights. Like you, if it was daytime, then it would be very clear, but yes, it's somebody switch on some lights there. Wow. I said the magic word, did I? There's the crew that was responsible for flying the Holy Father from Jakarta in Indonesia to Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. A trip that took almost 5 to 6 hours. We're waiting for the moment when all will be cleared for disembarkation of the people on board. And just in front of the aeroplane, the Airbus is a little, almost like a smaller miniature Toyota, but it is specially fitted for the Holy Father to be driven from there to New Guinea Hill. Now these are the Mekio dancers, Mekio performers who are there to welcome. And I think it was done in the previous visits by Pope John Paul II, and on his 2 visits here, the Mekios had gone out there and performed and had welcomed. These pictures are coming to you live, wherever you are, live from Jackson's Airport in Port Moresby. The Garuda Airbus that has just flown in has flown in, the Holy Father and his entourage, and landed at Jackson's Airport a few minutes ago. It's been a long flight, and I'm sure he's had a pretty long day in Indonesia. So from here, there are no other programs planned. As he steps down from the plane, he will take the guard of honor, say hello to the dignitaries there, take the guard of honor, and then will be taken to New Guinea Hill, where the Apostolic Nunciature is. That's the embassy of the Vatican. And these are some of the clergy out there. Archbishop, you know them. Who are they?
What we just see a while ago is the president, Bishop Otto Sapari, the Bishop of Brena. He's the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, and was standing to his back was Bishop Joseph Rosinski,
Okay.
the Bishop of Wiebeck, and all the others. The rest, everybody, I think at this point is nothing much they can say. They're just looking
Just sort of watch.
and just taking it in.
Yes. Yes. So they've obviously opened two doors. One at the back, I take it, will be the entourage, the accredited media will come out of there. Some security personnel. Then the steps in the front will be where the Holy Father will, no doubt, will be guided down. And there's some of the members, part of the entourage, coming down at the back end. And if they are media people, they will no doubt circle the front to take pictures. That's what they came for, and they're not going to miss this opportunity. And in Papua New Guinea, we offer a different kind of reception with the young Mekio dancers who are dressed up in front. Here are some members of the security personnel making sure that the Holy Father is safe. Trained personnel, so they swift into action. Now the members of some of our dignitaries, as well as the two Mekio girls dressed in Mekio dress, will welcome the Holy Father. Is there any specific order under which the bishops go to meet the Holy Father there? Were they picked? Were they chosen? Or how is that arrived at?
John, what is happening is all the bishops are invited to be present for the arrival to greet the Holy Father, because in most cases, he is the what's we refer to as the supreme pontiff, who is the overall boss. And everybody, we normally every 5 years we have to go and give an account on how you're running your dioceses or archdioceses. And so he is also keen to meet each one. And recently we just met him in Rome last year. And now when he comes and see the bishops or meet the bishops on their own turf, it's a bit of a different experience for the Holy Father as much as for the bishops themselves. So in that regard, there is no, of course, we have the Cardinal and the Chairman of the Bishops' Conference, the President, and then the rest. That's about it. We'll be having also a few others who arrived. The other Cardinal from Tonga and another Archbishop from Fiji and from New Zealand, who just felt that this, because we are making Papua New Guinea as representing the Oceania, and so these other bishops felt that they have to be here to representing their four conferences, Australia, New Zealand, and CPAC is all the nations in the Pacific Ocean and Papua New Guinea Solomon Islands. So this is why we are hearing the referral or the reference is that this visit is a pastoral and apostolic visit of His Holiness Pope Francis to to Asia and Oceania, and we Papua New Guinea seems to be at the borderline between Asia and Oceania. Yeah.
Or where the bridge?
Yeah.
Where the bridge? We'll break into a little bit of pidgin here, Archbishop. Online blo Papua New Guinea. Yumi tok minis disla balus e karim po pusati kam luki mipla kam lo country blo mipla balus e kam pundaun pinis na online ol big line blong government na lotu tu oli golo place balus long ko kisimem tok welcome long em na kisimem na em by ikat plenty of program long em long working long Port Moresby long Saturday na Sunday na tu em by go long Vanimol or West Civic Province. You go looking all some old missionary usat oli come lo place where em come long em. Em come long one bla South American country only call him Argentina. Na little old missionary all some old sister all walk line all come long up. Now you look all same old line here. It come down lo front end em all some bla all line usat he come on them em. I think only come past long. Ready long em by come down. Mibla wait yet. All got to look strong, Archbishop.
John, this pala balus. You know, one kind of small balus si misa lukim long kind of semika triple all exit ya lo back side long front nothing long side go to long left hand you can look him. So in look some kataman in look the sol na which one by Papa Santo come out long him. Holy Father by come long this la front or long back side or long side you go. But now or katay stop look the sol na. Wet long look him which step by kisimikam
yes.
Because I mean no walk about to I think only put him long wheelchair by easy long emi go down long you simpalusi go down long tamek maybe any will come on top long podium long here but I think long kata viewers long yumi this pala excitement na preparation of this pala time now emi come up finish now sampla long all line walk about one time amoli walk long come kisim place meeting all line even walk about them all group belong one kind of all journalists big line but sampla all close collaborators belong all walk line one time now you need to call him finish before because long situation na condition belong we need more extra care long all man long come but the point that Palandi looks sabi Tomas given or some lapun finish na emi got sala fragile still let me talk emi like come you can look him now emas by come out now na plus side
okay you look also only you should narapla something long New Guinea long put him long up na let him come down long up because lapun na
emi insist long come.
Yes.
Even suppose all team long what they can only come look now only go long vanimo now only come back na talk some country got problem long all heavy one them transport long balusi ron or you got short lo fuel or kind or complication come up now only go through long en only to game na emi ride long all ketawan talk long en ito all sem only to kimi all semi hard lo come that's all me like come.
I'm not looking all people long. Am now. Name come now. Come now long upside. Durang ko stable wheelchair. Siklik name no walk about them yet. Only help him go come all sem now all carry come down long one blah legally up and block New Guinea is a carry more one is something you go on long. Balushna come down long end, long upside. Now all Narablo come lo front now all bishop all dress come down. You may think all them all bishop now walk line blow low to us, so you must think all them Holy Father also president or prime minister and big man blow Vatican state. Now all this la bishops number them all some blow line and minister blow one kind also suppose prime minister blow me blah James Marabe go on Arab country and some minister go on them and one kind also all some blow this all come on them all some minister blow or some advisor blow or some one in blow long Vatican state because all workman blow is like kind of some government law Vatican. He's a religious leader as well as head of state.
John, I think only been talk long secretary to long secretary of state by come one them. That's all. Me been harim ken rapla talk also this secretary now we no come one them all because mama blong me die. Now this mama blong this secretary 96 year old mama. So time die now, emi subject so all narapla na wali come. But even kind of simito kaya all ministries now all secretaries all close line is walk about one temem na walk one temem na only come looking to bless all countries to imi long here long Asia na long Oceania.
Now. Already wait lo come down all this la all tubla liglik berry tubla dress up all semitok mekio. Central tasolino mekio motu koitabon long motu koitabu. Tubla dress is tab long na all little line is tab na time Holy Father come close to chief protocol officer blomibla by introduce him or by talk sabilong deputy prime minister blomibla long come long Holy Father all sem formality kind sign also working long big man long Narapla country come and now wheelchair only William go long where deputy prime minister stop long and Pope Francis you look at him now. But you may talk on him. Picture talk finish. Kiss him flower gifts. Now you saw traditional sign blow mipla long national capital. Na Papua New Guinea go long. That's all man blong. He come all media line. He come long Vatican. Two also I like him this like kind picture. I like show him the world all same na all to block him all up camera blow mipla. That's all I'm alright. So here goes the Deputy Prime Minister. Welcome to Papua New Guinea, he says. We are honored to have you here on shore. And Igolodisla now, Deputy Prime Minister, by accompany him or guide him Holy Father, igolong all line blong em now all dignitaries was such stab long and by introduce him all igolong Holy Father. This like commander blong commodore blong acting chief blong Papua New Guinea Defense Force. Now he gone up long APEC dies, whereby online blow mipla, all Soria and online blow mipla long here by Suluti mem. I think only Only mem na ila kiramem ta samlai lusimana close to pun down. That's all. Looking past long, I'm smiling. Man blong all people. Man blong go long all border number, all periphery, or English or periphery. I'm long outside. I'm not like go all city na kind of them. I'm like go where all people are, sleep outside. Outside all main cities na all good lap, all stuff long where happy hardly long end. I'm like go long end because long kind walk long end na ting long end. Deputy Prime Minister, one time the Holy Father. That's the 21 gun salute now. Normally, he would receive that salute standing up. But in his condition, of course, he is seated. And as a mark of respect for him, the Deputy Prime Minister is also seated with him. That picture of the Deputy Prime Minister and the Holy Father on the dais is a picture of a moment in time in the history of Papua New Guinea. Archbishop, that's the Honorable Justin Chechenko, the Foreign Minister, going up, meeting with the Holy Father, and the national anthems of Papua New Guinea and the Vatican have been taken. The governor of the National Capital District, the Honorable Paul Paco, gets the opportunity to get a close-up meeting, handshake with the Holy Father. I couldn't see his face. It could be one of the governors. Government officials. One by one are being introduced, and the Honorable Justin Chechenko is introducing important people, and that is MP Peter Isoaimo, member for it's the chairman of the Motu Koita Boons, Daddy Toka Jr. And this is Delta Wong, the member for Gazelle. From West New Britain, that's the Honorable Elias Kababore. A rare handshake, Peter Siamalili, Police Minister, a rare handshake that they'll treasure for a long time in their lives. You'll never get that as frequent as you would in your electorate. Okay, its formality is over. The Foreign Minister. Okay, that's the members of the clergy. I'll let you do that, Archbishop.
Of course, we have His Eminence, Cardinal Sir John Ribat. Similar to the Governor of NCD, though both are owners of the city, and they are welcoming him to spend his time with our people here in the nation's capital, and all the other bishops coming from the various provinces and dioceses, bringing with them all the people they represent, and as much as the services that we deliver, the education, health, most of the bishops have been looking forward to this opportunity, and as I said earlier, that there are a couple of visitors from our nearby Australia and New Zealand are taking part in the welcome as representing our Oceania Catholic Bishops, the Federation of the Catholic Bishops Conference here. So they are amongst the mix of all the ones that are welcoming and greeting His Holiness Pope Francis.
Big plus side lo disla also online go past long government side. Only talk welcome long M lo side long government because M2 M head long government lo Vatican. Not all disla all bishop lo disla side all talk hello long M no welcome M long M head long church. All same name two blood group it talk welcome long em. long ikam long en lo Papua New Guinea. And this is a reality performed, an official visit to any country. And now legally Karya, mitoge only equipment long by Karim, the Holy Father, he go long place long lo sleep long New Guinea Hill long Tokorara. Place them by sleep long also embassy blong blong ground house by sleep long non government blo Papua New Guinea Papua long o when blong Vatican blong Rome yet blong Vatican State yet also one kind also embassy by sleep long time go long Narbla country no sa sleep long hotel or house blong Narbla man state houses or accommodation by go sleep long embassy or high commission or when him up well only call him apostolic where apostolic nuncios are stablong en. Now I'm by working one kind of semlo port must be. By non have sleep long hotel, by non have sleep long government guest house, by sleep long place blow him yet. Long ground blow him yet. Inside long. Legally have ground inside lo Papua New Guinea and long Vatican. Na place longan and bago sleep longan. Legally Karya by Gishim Holy Father, he go long place blame lo stop. That's all one plus something road long Jackson Airport, he come in up long 5 mile line going up long Corobosea and go long independent go long New Guinea Hill and pull up long old man Mary all the day line up long road na tok come also more only more legally gold candle or some light long sons long all long look long Pope Francis and now lose him. This is a legally up ceremony, up welcome ceremony belong him. Now by Igor now. Long blood trip belong him. Trango go sleep. Tomorrow big blood day. By you meet talk on this la. That's all you mean behind me go legally. All some black car go past na backside long and all security car about. Some place stop close to like illegal mobile phone camera I walk about now. I'll get that on. And finish him. Legally up welcome ceremony lo Jackson Airport, lo Port Moresby. Pope Francis, Archbishop, is now being taken to taken to New Guinea Hill.
Yes,
Tokorara,
John.
where he will be overnighting at the Apostolic Nunciature. That's the embassy, like an embassy. And no doubt there'll be people lining up the route. He will be driving. The route will be from Erma to 5 Mile and then Boroko and then all the way to Corobosea and all the way to New Guinea Hill. And there you can see how Port Moresby has turned out to welcome the head of the Catholic Church and the head of the Vatican. A spiritual leader who's very powerful in the world, just by the very nature that he is a spiritual leader. You know, it's quite extraordinary, Archbishop, that to see all these cars, police, buses, huge Land Cruisers, big cars, taking all the other dignitaries, but the Holy Father is in a small Toyota, waving to the people and going. I think it is specially fitted. I'm not suggesting that it is done for whatever, but I think it is by choice that he wants to have it open and wave to people along the way.
This Holy Father Francis, by teaching this name Francis, he wanted to be closer to the Saint Francis of Assisi, who was from a very rich family, and when he had to respond to the call to be a disciple of Jesus, in a sense, he stripped off everything, gave it back to his father, and walked out a poor man, a beggar. And that is the message that you want to really emphasize. Even when he was already elected Pope, he went himself back on a small car, or he got a public bus, something. They have to get the securities to get him, because he wanted to go back to the hotel where he stayed and to pay off his bills. You know, this was mind-blowing for a lot of people. They would send the secretaries to do this and that, but he himself chose to go and pay off his bill and ask if anything else. And then because in his country, in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, he himself traveled a lot on public passes. That was how he was close to the people, and he picked up a lot of the people's pain and sufferings and challenges by being with them in this public transport. So for him it is pretty normal to be just in a small car like that.
Okay. It's being reflected here, and even in Indonesia, there were pictures circulating of him in a tricycle in the middle of one of the busy streets in Indonesia. But here, yes, he demonstrates that to the people of Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. A simple man, the people spoke. And a number of the officials have taken leave. First was the Deputy Prime Minister, now the Commodore, the Chief Commodore of the Defense Force. Okay, as matter of protocol, we allow the Holy Father to be driven to Air New Guinea Hill, where he will have his dinner. And where he will rest for the night.